I think Ryan pretends to be a good person as best he can. In our first Nerve at Night, we showed that clip where he talks about being able to fake empathy, which I find very disturbing because empathy is something that otherwise healthy, rational, non-psychopathic humans innately possess, and we don't have to fake it.
Actors who have worked with Ryan Reynolds have shared stories about moments where they felt he used his status on set to take control of situations. One example often discussed is the 2017 sci-fi movie Life, where reports suggest the atmosphere became difficult during filming. According to accounts that have circulated, Ryan was reportedly frustrated while filming some of his scenes, and that tension appeared to affect his interactions with co-star Rebecca Ferguson.
I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star. And this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and comfortable that I got screamed at. And I would cry walking off set. This person would literally look at me in front of the whole crew and say, "You call yourself an actor, this is what I have to work with. What is this?" And I stood there just breaking. This happens. But because this person was number one on a call sheet, there was no safety net for me. So no one had my back.
At one point, she reportedly told him to get off her set. That kind of reaction suggests someone had reached their breaking point after a series of stressful moments. Because Ryan was one of the film's lead actors, reports claim removing him from the set wasn't considered a realistic option.
And I remember the next day I walked on and I said, "You get off my set." It's the first time I've ever spoken. I remember being so scared. And I looked at this person and I said, "You can F off. I'm going to work towards a tennis ball. I never want to see you again." And then I remember the producers came up and said, "You can't do this to number one. We have to let this person be on set." And I said, "But the person can turn around and I can act to the back head."
Wow.
And I did.
Stories surrounding the production also suggest Rebecca found another way to get through certain scenes, reportedly choosing to focus on an object instead of making direct eye contact with her co-star. Whether every detail is exactly as described has been debated, but the story has continued to spark conversation online. What makes this even more interesting is that people point to claims stretching back much earlier than Life. Actor Matthew Lawrence, known for Mrs. Doubtfire and his long career in Hollywood, recently shared a story on his podcast about working with Ryan Reynolds on the 1998 film Bolteneck. His experience offers another perspective from the early days of Ryan's career, making it a story that has caught plenty of attention. According to Matthew Lawrence, the production team reportedly faced challenges with Ryan Reynolds from the very beginning of filming. Lawrence recalled that Ryan wanted to perform the role with a Jim Carrey-inspired style, even though, according to his account, the producers and director had a different vision for the character. That story has fueled discussion about whether Ryan preferred following his own creative instincts instead of taking direction. Lawrence's comments have led some people to connect that early experience with later stories from other productions.
The production team was having a really hard time with Ryan. He'd walk out, didn't really, just wanted to kind of do his thing. And the producers were getting really upset because they said, and they even told him that, "Ryan, this is a bad Jim Carrey impersonation. We don't want, just not what we hired you to do. You can't impersonate somebody, you got to do your own thing."
While these are individual accounts rather than established facts, critics have argued that Ryan sometimes pushed his own approach even when others disagreed. Those claims remain part of an ongoing conversation, with different people sharing different perspectives about what happened behind the scenes. Another story that has received attention involves the 2005 film The Amityville Horror. During a scene with co-star Jesse James, who was 15 at the time, Ryan later said he unexpectedly slapped James while filming to capture a genuine reaction. The moment has since sparked debate, with some viewers questioning whether enough preparation or communication took place before filming that scene. Ryan also explained in past interviews that he intentionally kept his distance from the younger cast members because he believed it helped him stay in character as someone whose mental state was falling apart. That acting method has divided opinions ever since. Some people see it as an example of intense method acting, while others believe performers, especially when working with younger co-stars, should maintain a supportive and professional environment throughout production. This is a theme you'll see come up throughout this video. Several stories shared over the years have led some critics to argue that Ryan Reynolds was more comfortable taking a firm approach in situations where others had less influence or authority. Those accounts represent personal experiences and opinions, and not everyone involved has described events the same way. Another topic that sparked plenty of discussion involved Anna Kendrick. After she later worked with Blake Lively, fans began speculating about the dynamic between the two actresses, with many pointing to what they saw as a noticeably distant relationship. While none of those theories have been confirmed, the speculation only grew as people looked for clues behind the scenes. One moment that really caught attention happened at a social media awards show, where both Anna Kendrick and Ryan Reynolds were nominated. Anna won the award and made a playful remark during her acceptance speech that many viewers interpreted as a joke.
The Twitter thing, I have so much fun on Twitter, and I know that Mindy and Kumail and stuff were nominated, and also I know that Ryan Reynolds was nominated, so in your face, Ryan! Stay in your lane!
Others, however, believed there was more meaning behind the comment, connecting it to ongoing fan speculation about her past working relationship with Ryan. Since neither side has confirmed those interpretations, they're best viewed as opinions rather than established facts. Things become even more interesting when the conversation shifts to Dwayne Johnson. As one of Hollywood's biggest stars, Dwayne has built a career where his influence on major productions is hard to ignore. That made people especially curious about what happened when two high-profile actors with strong personalities ended up working together on the same project. Dwayne Johnson has spent decades building his reputation as one of Hollywood's biggest stars, earning influence through a long list of successful films and a strong connection with audiences. That made reports of behind-the-scenes tension during Red Notice especially interesting. According to multiple media reports, Dwayne was occasionally late to set during production. Reports also suggested that the situation led to disagreements behind the scenes. While the full details have never been publicly confirmed by everyone involved, the alleged conflict quickly became a major topic of discussion among entertainment outlets and fans. Some reports claimed the disagreement became serious enough that people questioned whether the two stars would work together again. There was also speculation that the production faced added pressure because of the ongoing tension, although accounts differ on how much it actually affected filming. Since much of the information comes from anonymous sources and industry reports, the exact sequence of events remains unclear. Following the movie's release, fans closely watched interviews from both actors, looking for signs that the relationship had changed. Dwayne made comments about professionalism and working with reliable teammates in several interviews, and many viewers believed those remarks were aimed at Ryan Reynolds. However, he never mentioned Ryan by name, so those interpretations remain speculation rather than confirmed fact. Whether there was a lasting disagreement or not, the rumored clash became one of the most talked about stories surrounding Red Notice. It also added to the broader conversation about how creative differences and workplace conflicts can sometimes become just as newsworthy as the movies themselves. Dwayne Johnson never directly identified anyone in those interviews, but some fans believed his comments hinted at behind-the-scenes tension. Since he didn't mention Ryan Reynolds by name, those interpretations remain speculation. Interestingly, the two actors were later attached to multiple Red Notice sequels, showing that whatever happened didn't prevent them from continuing to work on the franchise. Another behind-the-scenes story that has generated even more discussion involves Deadpool director Tim Miller. Long before the movie became a blockbuster, Miller played a major role in bringing the project to life. He helped shape its unique visual style and tone at a time when many people weren't convinced a superhero film with that level of comedy would succeed. When Deadpool became a massive hit, both the movie and its creative team received widespread praise. After the film's success, however, creative differences reportedly began to surface. In interviews, Tim Miller said Ryan Reynolds wanted greater creative control over the franchise. As Miller explained, it became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise. "You can work that way as a director, quite successfully, but I can't." That statement has often been cited as the reason Miller stepped away from Deadpool 2. Many fans have viewed Miller's comments as evidence of a significant disagreement over the direction of the series. While both men have continued to speak positively about the success of Deadpool, Miller's departure remains one of the franchise's most talked about behind-the-scenes developments. Deadpool 2 was a major box office success, but some fans have argued that the first film had a unique style that reflected Tim Miller's creative influence. His departure sparked years of discussion, with many wondering how much of the franchise's original identity changed after the first movie. It's a debate that continues among fans today. Another story often mentioned takes us back to 2004 and Blade: Trinity. At the time, Wesley Snipes was already the established star of the Blade franchise, while Ryan Reynolds was joining the series in a supporting role. Behind-the-scenes reports and interviews over the years have suggested there were creative differences between the actors, particularly when it came to the tone of the film. According to those accounts, Wesley preferred sticking closely to the character and the script, while Ryan leaned into improvisation and fast-paced comedy. Supporters of that style say it brought extra energy to the movie, while critics argue it sometimes clashed with the darker tone that had defined the earlier Blade films. Those different approaches reportedly created tension during production. Looking back, many fans see Blade: Trinity as an early example of the quick-witted, improvisational style that would later become Ryan's signature on screen. Some believe that style helped him stand out and shaped his career, while others feel it occasionally drew attention away from the overall tone of a scene. Either way, it became one of the defining traits audiences now associate with his performances, and discussions about that approach continue years after the film's release. Ryan Reynolds has often been associated with putting his own creative spin on projects, even when they're connected to well-known franchises. One example that sparked plenty of discussion was Stoned Alone, a comedy project inspired by the basic premise of Home Alone. The reported concept followed an adult grower who becomes paranoid and ends up defending his home from intruders. Ryan was attached as a producer and was also reported to be a possible star of the film. Not everyone was enthusiastic about the idea. Home Alone director Chris Columbus openly criticized the concept, saying, "When I read about something called Stoned Alone they were going to do with Ryan, I thought to myself, this is just an insult to the art of cinema." His comments reflected his personal opinion and highlighted how differently he viewed the project compared with the original family classic. Another moment that caught fans' attention involved Gerard Butler. During an interview promoting his 2009 film Gamer, the conversation turned to Free Guy, leading some viewers to expect a comparison between the two movies. Instead, Gerard simply responded, "I actually don't know what Free Guy is." That brief answer quickly became a talking point online. Some fans interpreted Butler's response as subtle distance from the comparison, while others believed it was simply an honest answer with no deeper meaning. Since Gerard didn't elaborate or criticize Ryan directly, any broader interpretation remains speculation. Even so, the exchange became another small moment that fueled conversations about Ryan's reputation and the way his projects are discussed within Hollywood. Another story that has drawn attention over the years involves the late Matthew Perry. According to people who knew him, Perry believed Ryan Reynolds' comedic delivery closely resembled the style he made famous as Chandler Bing on Friends. Those claims were never publicly confirmed by Ryan, and opinions differ on whether the similarities were intentional or simply a result of comparable comedic influences. People close to Perry reportedly said he was disappointed that Ryan never publicly acknowledged him as an influence, despite the comparisons fans often made between their performances. Matthew Perry passed away in 2023, leaving those reported feelings unresolved. Since neither Perry nor Ryan publicly addressed the issue together, it's impossible to know whether they ever discussed it privately. Another actor who has spoken publicly about working with Ryan is TJ Miller, his co-star in the first Deadpool. During interviews, Miller said he felt Ryan was unusually harsh toward him while they were filming. Because Miller is an experienced comedian himself, his comments attracted attention from fans who were curious about what had happened behind the scenes. According to Miller, the incident occurred during an improvisational scene where he felt Ryan made comments that crossed the line from playful banter into something more personal. Miller initially said he wasn't interested in working with Ryan again.
Would I work with him again? No. I sort of wish him well because he's so good at Deadpool, and I think it's weird that he hates me.
Do you know he hates
We
you?
had a really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me, but to me, as if I'm Weasel. So he was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star. You do just enough exposition that is funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real
So he's
movie.
riffing.
Later, however, he explained that they had spoken and resolved the situation, describing it as a misunderstanding. While some fans continue to debate what really happened, both actors have publicly indicated that the issue was settled and no further details have been confirmed. The fact that TJ Miller later addressed the situation publicly led some fans to believe the disagreement was more significant than an ordinary misunderstanding.
I just kind of listened and thought it was weird, and then I got off stage and I walked over and the whole crew was acting weird. And then I went up to Kate and I was like, that was weird, right? And she was like, of course it was fucking weird. It was insane. Everybody was like, why is Ryan doing this? And the other weird thing is like, I think he's kind of an insecure dude. His Twitter bio is showing you the parts of me that tested the best in focus groups. And I'm not sure that he's joking.
While both actors have since said they moved on, the incident remains one of the more widely discussed behind-the-scenes stories connected to Deadpool. Another topic that has generated online discussion involves Ryan Reynolds and actor Joe Keery during promotional appearances for Free Guy. Ryan often used his trademark fast-paced humor in interviews, including jokes aimed at his co-star. While many viewers saw the exchanges as playful, others interpreted some of the moments differently. Fans have closely analyzed Joe Keery's reactions in several interviews, with some suggesting he appeared reserved or slightly uncomfortable at times. Others, however, viewed his body language as normal for live interviews and promotional events. Since neither actor has publicly described those moments as a problem, any conclusions about how Joe felt remain speculation rather than confirmed fact. The conversations around these interviews have become part of a broader debate about different styles of humor and how audiences interpret on-screen chemistry during press tours. It's a reminder that viewers can reach very different conclusions from the same clips, especially when no one involved has confirmed those interpretations. Next comes Martha Stewart, who offered a different perspective because she has known Ryan Reynolds outside the usual Hollywood spotlight. She made headlines after saying, "He is not as funny as he thinks he is." While some saw it as a joke and others viewed it as criticism, it remains her personal opinion. The conversation also extends to Robert Downey Jr. Online rumors claimed Ryan wanted Robert involved in Deadpool and Wolverine, and that there was behind-the-scenes tension. However, neither the actors nor Marvel Studios has confirmed those reports, so they remain speculation. Since neither Ryan Reynolds, Robert Downey Jr., nor Marvel Studios has confirmed those reports, they should be viewed as speculation rather than fact. Now, let's go back to the 2017 press tour for Life. Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal appeared to be close friends during interviews, but after the movie's release, Jake later said they weren't in regular contact. That sparked speculation among fans, though neither actor has ever confirmed there was any personal conflict. Another perspective comes from Ryan's former wife, Scarlett Johansson. After their divorce, Scarlett Johansson spoke about the challenges of two actors balancing demanding careers, constant travel, and close working relationships on set. She described the pressures those realities can place on a marriage, but did not publicly accuse Ryan Reynolds of any specific wrongdoing. Looking at these stories together, some critics believe Ryan prefers having strong creative influence, while others argue many of the claims are based on personal opinions or unverified reports. As with many Hollywood stories, there are different perspectives to consider. What do you think about these behind-the-scenes stories surrounding Ryan Reynolds? Share your thoughts in the comments and keep the discussion respectful.